1 week on, is my printer fixed? Let's find out. So we're a week on from the printer failure. I didn't get too involved in the troubleshooting board. I didn't really have time. I was running out of things to try, and I had a pretty good idea that it was something to do with the 80 mega chip on board, which is surface mount soldered, so you can't really replace it. It's not a chip that you can take out and put back in. So I was stumped. I was ready just to buy a new one, but I thought I'll reach out to GEEETECH first of all, because it's a GT2560 board that I have. And a big shout out to Mike Who, because I explained that I thought my board was faulty. I explained the reasons why, and he said, you know what, no problem, we'll send you another one. Doesn't matter that it came as part of a non-GEEETECH kit. It was a GEEETECH board, so we'll just send you another one, and he did that absolutely no problem. So that arrived the other day. I fitted the board to the printer, plugged it all up, and then I flashed it with my own firmware, the settings that I've been using, and job done. Absolutely no problem at all. So before I started planning this channel, I'd made a couple of changes. I've had the printer for about 18 months. It was a little bit noisy. I was wanting to try some other brands of filament, a little bit more exotic, some of the abrasive stuff. So I changed out the stepper drivers, and I also changed from a brass nozzle to a hardened steel nozzle. And all was going fine and dandy, except for the test prints I was doing. I've got a maker coin that I put together, and I use that generally as a test print whenever I'm trying new filaments and stuff like that. But whenever I was trying to print from it, whether it was the PLA I've always used, whether it was some of the more exotic stuff that I got to go along with the new nozzle, everything was coming out really brittle. It was coming out delaminated, and it was just a nightmare. So I reached out to the guys on the 3D printing Facebook page, and there was a couple of guys there who were really helpful, told me they thought it was a temperature issue, and steps to go to fix that. So basically what I've learned from that is that the steel nozzles have a little bit of an issue where I think it is they dissipate the heat too quickly. Either that, or they don't heat up quickly enough, or they don't keep the heat. But either way, what was actually being extruded wasn't the temperature that I was seeing, and it wasn't the temperature that I'd set. So the suggestion there was up it and keep upping it until you get to that point where you're ready. So I've done that, and it's working really, really well now. Anyway, back to the iPad mount. So in the last video, you'll have seen that we designed or we remixed the iPad mount, or the GoPro mount that I'd seen on Thingiverse. It was Sean's design. I remixed it. I added on just a little bit of a lip to fit the iPad in, and we were getting ready to print, and that was when the printer died. So I hadn't actually tested it. I did throw it up on Thingiverse for other people to download. I've had a couple of downloads, but no real feedback on how it was. So I was printing yesterday to print it out, and well, you're probably seeing the B-roll that's playing just now. Didn't go quite according to plan, but then I think we're starting to see the theme of my YouTube channel here, and it doesn't always quite go to plan, but there's the opportunity to learn. So the upshot of it was that it didn't fit. Eventually, when I did get a good print, it didn't fit. So I realized that I'd made a little bit of an issue, or made a little bit of a mistake when I was measuring the dimensions of the iPad. I've got a set of digital calipers, and I had it set incorrectly, so I was getting the wrong value. So when I put that into Fusion 360, it wasn't right at all. I went to test fit the part to the iPad, and it was just too narrow by quite a margin, by about 10 mil. So it just wasn't fitting at all. There was no wiggle room at all. So I've gone back into Fusion 360. I've amended the design, and well, let's give it a test print. I haven't printed it yet, so why don't we do it together? Let's go. You up in boom boom bosh, boom boom. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream. Plans would come true. Spend my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream.
dream, sweetheart.
And here we are. We have the finished product. We have an iPad mount that fits on a GoPro attachment for my tripod. Does it fit? Yeah, it does. It really does. Who'd have thought it? But there we go. So we've got a working iPad mount, and by accident I've actually managed to show you an example of an iterative design. So we designed it in Fusion 360. We did a test print. We tried to test fit it, didn't work. We went back into Fusion 360, we tried to print it again, it worked, it fitted, and there we go, that was all we needed to do.
If I could take you up in boom boom bosh, boom boom, tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream. Plans would come true. Spend my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.
So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up, and please remember to subscribe as well if you are into that kind of thing. I see loads of YouTubers and they're trying to reach their goal of 10,000 subscribers. I'd quite like just 10. At the time of recording, I've only got 4. So if you can do that, that would be great as well. If you want to get notifications of videos in the future, then you can also just ring that bell as well. You'll get a notification every time I post a new one. And if there's something you'd like me to cover in a future video, then just leave it in the comments below. I'll read them all. Can't promise that I'll get through them all, you know, if I get loads, but you know, with 4 subscribers, it's a bit unlikely, so I'll probably read it. So yeah, that's it from this video. So until next time, remember, learn, make, share.